Hello, in this video tutorial you are going to learn how to automate backup of SQL Server Express database on Windows Server 2012 by Sachin Sami, powered by tech.ptechrise.com. Okay, we are on Windows Server 2012 machine. Let's log on with administrative rights. Let's type down my very secret password. Okay. Now the server manager will automatically open. Okay, let's close the server manager. Let's go to Start and open Internet Explorer. Here I have already bookmarked the website from which we are going to take a reference to create a backup procedure for automating a SQL Server backup. If you want to read this article, you can find the URL below this video. As you can see, this article has been published by Microsoft. So you can use this backup procedure without any hesitation or doubts. The procedure provided by Microsoft comes under Microsoft Public License MSPL. You can read more about the license terms and conditions on this URL. To make this procedure quick and easy, I have created a zip file which can be downloaded from here. As you can see the URL, that is tech.ptechrise.com. You can also find this URL at the bottom of this video. Or just go to tech.ptechrise.com and search for Automate SQL Express Backup. Now without wasting any more time, let's download the zip file. To download the zip file, let's click here. This has redirected me to Google Docs, as you can see. Now let's click on File. Once you have clicked on File, click on Download. Click on Save. Click on Open Folder. Let's close this. Close all tabs. So we have downloaded the zip file. Let's move this onto the desktop. Okay, close this too. Now let's extract the zip file. Right click and extract all. Click extract. Okay, the file has been extracted. Let's delete this. Okay, let's open this folder, that is backup all. Here you will find readme info text file. Let's open it. Here I have given all the information which is required to configure SQL Server Express automated backup. Copy and paste the extracted files in the C drive, including subfolders and files. See the below example. Okay, see backup all. Let's do this. Okay, I have copied the backup folder. Let's paste it into C drive. Okay. Step 2. Create a store procedure in your master database. A. Open SQL Server Management Studio, connect to database engine. Let's go to run and type SSMS. That is Sierra, Sierra, Mango, Sierra. So the SQL Server has been opened. Let's connect to the database engine using Windows authentication. Click on Connect. If I open the database folder, there are 4 databases are available. Let's go back to our text file. B. Click New Query. Okay, let's go back to the SQL Server. And let's click on New Query. Okay. C. Copy all text from C backup folder, Automate SQL script, Automate SQL Express backup, and paste it into new query window, then click execute. It should show command completed successfully. Okay, so let's go back to the backup folder, and from here let's open Automate. There is SQL script. Let's open Automate SQL script, which is here. Okay, and let's copy all the content from this file. Okay, and let's paste it into SQL Server new query window. I have selected the master database, as you can see here, and now let's click on execute. Command completed successfully. Now let's go back to our text file. D. Close the management studio. Okay, so let's close the management studio now. Okay, let's click no. Okay, back to our text file. A note is given. If you want to edit that store procedure once it is created, follow these steps. Okay, expand database, system database, master, programmatically, store procedure. Right click on the store procedure and click on modify. Well, let's check it out. Let's open SQL Server Management Studio. And it is Windows authentication. Click on connect. Expand database, system databases, master, programmatically, store procedure. Right click and click on modify. Okay. So by following this procedure, you can modify the store procedure which you have created. So now let's go back to our text file. Okay. Step 3. Schedule task for batch file to take backup and delete backup. A. Open the following folder. C. Backup all, automate, schedule task XML. Okay, let's go to C drive. Backup all. Okay, let me adjust this window so that we can see both of the windows. Okay. Yeah, a little bit more. Okay, yeah. Now as you can see, automate and then schedule task XML. You will see 4 XML files. Open the XML file one by one into the text editor and replace the following tech.ptcast.com with your computer name. See the below example. Now let's follow the steps which are given into the text file. First, let's check what is our computer name. Let's go to Start, Computer, Properties. On the Properties window, click on Change Setting. From here, copy the computer name, close this, right click on the XML file, edit, and let's find the author and the user. Okay, there is a user ID. Let's replace it with computer name, that is server 1, and there is a author. Let's replace this with our computer name. Okay, save this one. Let's open the other one, second file. Okay, same thing. Let's change with our computer name. Okay, this is user ID, paste server 1. Okay, let's save this too. Now the third file, there is the author. Let's put our computer name here and the user. Okay, let's save this one too. Okay, let's click this. Now the last, fourth one, paste, and the last one, let's paste our computer name. Okay, save this one too. Okay, it is. Now step C, open task scheduler, go to run and type the following command. What I'm going to do, I will just copy this command and paste it into run. Okay, the task scheduler has been opened. Now let's check it out our text file. On the task scheduler, click on action, import task, C, backup all, automate, schedule task XML. Import each XML file one by one into task scheduler. See the below example. Okay, let's see the below example. Okay, there are 4 examples are given. Now let's go to task scheduler. Right click on the task scheduler library and click on import task. Let's select our XML file. Let's go to C drive, backup all, automate, schedule task XML. Select the first file, open, and as you can see, the file has been successfully imported into the task scheduler. Let's click OK. As you can see, the task is here. Now let's import the second task. Same procedure. Click OK. Now let's import the third one. Import. Select the task, open. Click OK. Now select the fourth task and the last one. Click on import, open. Click OK. Now we have successfully imported all of the 4 XML files. Now if we see the text file, we have completed all the steps given here. Last, there is a note. You can edit the scheduled task anytime you want by double clicking task, target, edit. Now let's see how we can modify the task which we have just imported into the task scheduler. Let's click on Dell 12 AM. Now from here you can modify this task as your requirement. Okay, now we are on the trigger tab. If I click on this trigger, this will show me the values which is currently configured. I can modify the values as my requirement. Right now I do not want to change anything in this task, so let's click on cancel. Cancel again. Now let's open 12 AM backup task. Basically what this task will going to do is take backup every day at 12 AM. As you can see here, you can modify this task by double clicking on here and selecting the appropriate time and date as you required. Let's click on cancel, as we do not require to change anything at all. So we have completed all the steps which are given in the text file. Okay, let's close this folder too. Just wait for a moment. Okay. Now we have completed all the steps which are required to automate the SQL Server backup. So let's run the task manually and see what happens. Let me open the folder where the backup will be going to save automatically. Let's go to C drive, and in the C drive, let's open the folder backup all and click on backup. There are 2 folders are available. Let's click on 12 AM. As you can see, this folder is currently empty. Okay, let me just quickly adjust both of these windows. Okay. Now if you see the time, it is 11:59. When it is 12, the backup task will start automatically. Now let me show you what happens when I select this task and click on the run manually. Okay. Now it is taking the backup of SQL databases. As you can see here, the task has taken a backup of 4 databases. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now we are in 12 AM folder. Let's go back and open 12 PM folder. Now let's run the task of 12 PM. Let me click on run. And as you can see, the backup has been taken of all the databases. Go back to 12 AM folder, and if you see the time now, it is going to be 12 PM in any time now. So just wait for a moment. Now here, as you can see, the task has ran automatically. Now if I see the time, it is exactly 12 PM. So let's go back to the folder with 12 PM. Okay. So there are 8 databases are available. If you see the exact time, you will find that the 4 databases backup has taken at exactly 12 PM. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's go back to our 12 AM folder. Okay. Okay. Here we are. If you see here, we have a task Dell 12 AM. Basically what this task will going to do is delete all the backups in 12 AM folder. Let's quickly check what is the configuration in this task. Let's click on triggers. On the triggers, double click, and as you can see, the days when the task will run, that is 1, 11, 21, and the last day of the month. Now let's open 12 p.m. folder. If you see here, there are backup of databases. Now if I select del 12 p.m. task and click on run, all the databases in that folder will be deleted, as you can see. Basically, these two tasks, del 12 a.m. and del 12 p.m. are going to be run at separate day and separate time, so that the database backup will not take the huge amount of hard disk space. I recommend that you modify this task as your requirement, or disable the task if you do not want to delete the backed up database automatically. To disable the scheduled task, right click on the task and click on disable. And if you want to enable the disabled task, click on enable. Now let's close task scheduler and also this folder. Now let me show you some more important things when automating SQL Server backup. Let's open SQL Server Management Studio. Click on connect. Okay. Let's create a new database. Expand database folder. Right click and click on new database. On the window, type the database name. I'm going to type SAMP, that is short for sample. Let's click OK. Here you can see a sample database is created. Now let's see what happens when the scheduled task will run. Let's open task scheduler. To open the task scheduler, use the following command. Let's click OK. Let's select the task which will going to take the backup of SQL Server database. Click on the task and click on run. OK. Now let's see what happened. Let's open our backup folder on the C drive. Yeah, backup all, backup. Here you can see all the databases are backed up, including the database which we have just created, that is sample SAMP. Okay, now let's click on the task which will delete all the backups. Okay, now let's go back to SQL Server Management Studio. Now what happens if there are multiple databases and you only want to take a backup of some of those databases? For that kind of scenario, there is an option in the store procedure which we have earlier created. Let's edit that store procedure. Right click and click on modify. Here if you carefully see, you will find an option filter out database which do not need to be backed up. Type down the database name in the following format which you do not want to take a backup. In my scenario, I am going to type the database name which I have just created, that is SAMP. So just wait for a moment. Okay, that is SAMP. Yeah. Now click on execute. Once you have clicked on execute, you will see the message command completed successfully. Now let's minimize the SQL Server Management Studio and go back to task scheduler. Select the SQL Server backup task which we have configured and click on run. Just wait for a moment. And as you can see, there are only 4 databases which are backed up, and excluding the database which we have entered into the store procedure. So let me show you one more example for this, so that it will be clear to you. Let's go back to a SQL Server Management Studio and scroll to the line where it says filter out the database which do not need to be backed up. I'm going to remove one database name from here. The database name is master. So let's do this. Let me just delete this one. Okay, and click on execute. Now let's quickly go back to task scheduler, select the backup task and click on run. Just wait for a moment. Okay, And as you can see, the master database has been backed up, including all other databases which are not inside the stored procedure list. Let's go back to SQL Server Management Studio and let's undo the changes which we have done and click on execute. Okay, now let's minimize the Management Studio and go back to Task Scheduler. I'm going to run the task which will clean all of this. Let me select the task and click on run. Okay. Now once again let's run the backup task. Click on run. And as you can see, there are only 4 databases. There is no master database. Well, so far I have shown you how to create a store procedure and how to schedule a task in Task Scheduler. Now I am going to show you what happens when the Task Scheduler runs the automated task. Let's open C drive. Click on Backup All. Click on Automate. Click on Batch File. Here you can see there are 4 batch files are available. Right click on the batch file and click on Edit and click on Run. If you don't know what is batch file is a text file which contains sequence of commands. As you can see here, all the lines which are starting with rim are comments. So don't get confused if you are new to batch files. Here I have explained all of the parameters of trans-SQL statements which have been used in this batch file. This is the path of a backup folder. The actual backup folder path is here. And if you see F, that stands for full backup. And this is a full trans-SQL statement which runs when the scheduled task is triggered. Now let's open the second batch file. Basically everything is same in this batch file except the path of the folder where the backup is going to be take place. As you can see here, this is 12 PM, and if I show you the first batch file, that is 12 AM. Let's close this and let's open the third one. This batch file is used to delete backups. All the information about this file is given here. If you want to edit anything in this file, keep extreme precaution. Test everything on your test machine before running anything on your live server. This is a one-line command which deletes the backup of SQL Server at the specific path with the specific extension, that is .bak. Star is basically a wildcard, and if you see below that, BAK is a specific file extension. So when the automated schedule task is run, that triggers this batch file to be executed. Then this batch file deletes all the backup from a specific folder with the specific extension. So this completes our tutorial of how to automate SQL Server Express backup. If you like this video tutorial, don't forget to give a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel to receive an email whenever we post a new video tutorial. Also, if you are having any technical problem or have any suggestions or questions, post your comment below the video. I will be happy to answer. You can also contact me on Google+, Gtalk, Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for watching this tutorial. This video tutorial is presented by Sachin Sami, powered by tech.pdcrest.com.